Alright, we'll just give it a minute. Let people come on. Hey, can you do me a favor, Sonia? Good to see you. Can you just let me know if you're able to hear me? Sorry if I'm picking on you. I saw your name first, so just let me know if you guys can hear me. Hey, if folks in the chat, just do me a favor. If you can hear me, say yes or give me a thumbs up. Alright, cool. I will also do a quick test. I'm just gonna ask again if you can hear this audio of videos I'm gonna play. Let me know if you can hear this. You're gonna get hurt. I mean, look at that. You got literal spikes on the ground, man. That's dangerous. It's not even for me. That's just, you got spikes on the ground, bro. Like, look at that. Can you guys hear that audio as well of the video I just played? Just give me a yes if you can hear the audio for the video I just played. All right. Wonderful. Thank you for confirming. I will wait another minute for people to join, and then I will get into the spiel I had, and we will go from there, and I'll address your questions. So we'll give it another minute, let people join, and appreciate you all being here. So really means a lot. Thanks for the support. So for those just joining, like I said, just giving it another minute for people to get on stream. And then I'll go through my little spiel. I'll keep it short and concise. And it's a good one. You guys are going to like this. I've got some tricks up my sleeve. So yeah, it's gonna be fun times. Bill, yeah, I actually did when I was getting out of the car when I was dropped off. So yes, that is correct. All right, let's see. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and get things started, and I will walk you guys through on what I had intended for today's live. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So thank you all for being here. What I wanted to do today is give everybody a 50,000 foot view of the legal system, some information on my particular arraignment coming up, and really just essentially have this stream serve as a nice highlight reel / summary so people can easily use it as bite-sized chunks to easily refer to, and bring it all in one place so that everybody has it, and you can do with it as you wish. So with that being said, I wanted to really start from the very beginning of explaining what an arraignment actually is. So something you might not know about me is I actually worked at the Supreme Court, the trial courts in Massachusetts. I actually interned there for a summer, and when it comes to legal proceedings, I think somebody like Scientology probably looked at me as an absolute moron that has no understanding or expertise of dealing with the legal system. And I'm sure in all the research Scientology might have done, you would see as part of my employment history that I literally actually worked in the Supreme Court trial courts for Massachusetts, particularly my hometown of Worcester. So this is going to be an absolute joy for me coming back. It's been such a long time that I've actually gotten a chance to step foot again in the front of a judge. And funny enough, the internship I had, we had to do a mock trial for a judge that was presiding over us interns. It was actually a judge in the Supreme Court trial court, so yay for that. It was a judge that I personally knew, and I had sat on many cases and actually provided documents to them. So one of the joys of working as an intern is you get to run paperwork up and down to different courtrooms. So there you go. So yeah, what is an arraignment? Basically, it's the first step, right? It's the first formal court proceeding in a criminal case. It's really where you go to hear the charges against you, and simply you enter a plea. Of course, there's the guilty, not guilty, or no contest pleas. Obviously, for me, I would be looking to enter a not guilty plea. And what can you expect at an arraignment? It's really two things. You appear in front of court at the specified date and time. The judge, the presiding over, will read the charges against you, and in this case, it is vandalism, aka section PC 594A. You will be asked to enter a plea. Again, guilty, not guilty, no contest. There's bail consideration based upon the severity of the case. So for this, it's just one count of vandalism. It's a very specific one. I'll get into that, the specifics of the vandalism charge being alleged. But you enter a bail consideration, and essentially the judge may decide on bail, whether they might deem it appropriate based on the severity of the case and a person's criminal history. Just as an FYI, I have a stellar, clean record, so there's zero criminal history for me. And the bail consideration is essentially the amount of money you pay to stay out of jail while awaiting trial, which is the whole point of the arraignment. The judge, once the plea is entered, will then look to set a date for future court proceedings, namely pretrial hearings or the trial itself. Key things to remember: this is just a complaint. Charge versus a complaint are very different. A complaint is simply just the initial document filed by a prosecutor alleging that somebody committed a crime. The charges themselves are the specific allegations. In this case, vandalism, aka violation of section PC 594A under the California Penal Code. And an arraignment is simply where charges are formally presented in court, right? They are very short events. The proving of the actual complaint does not occur at an arraignment. The prosecutor does not make a case for, nor do I defend. Simply being an arraignment is just to inform the defendant of charges and for you to enter a plea. That's all as it is. Many people tend to get overboard and will hire and spend thousands for just attending an arraignment. I don't believe that's necessary, especially for this particular case. But to prepare for an arraignment, there's a couple of things, right? Number one, first and foremost, first impressions are very important. So you dress to impress, and you make sure that you show up on time. You're respectful and polite to the judge as well as the court personnel. And it's huge, right? So I think you've seen many of the folks attending. They show up in formal wear. So yeah, that's basically a big one. At the end of your arraignment, you can choose to accept a public defender, or you can, of course, take on a private attorney to look after your case afterwards. Shifting gears just a little bit to explain California Penal Code 594A. Vandalism specifically is defined as doing any of the following three to somebody else's property. So number one is defacing with graffiti or other inscribed material. Number two is damaging. And number three is destroying. But it gets more specific when you want a vandalism charge to stick. So there's three elements that really have to be proven for a charge to stick. So number one, first and foremost, probably the most important, is malicious intent, meaning you are acting intentionally to destroy or injure or commit a wrongful act, which I think people can see for themselves was not at all what I had going for me. Number two, the property of another being damaged or destroyed or defaced, which I will show you in a couple of videos was not the case. Number three, the other really important one, is actual damage, destruction, or defacement. So there has to be physical alteration to the property. And again, as you'll see, the actual property in question was not damaged, because you can quite literally see in a couple of videos, video clips I'll highlight, that the property by some random individual is actually neatly rolled up, tucked into a barrel, and taken away. And it's as if nothing at all happened to it, which is exactly what I am alleging occurred to the supposed property. And there's also an issue of whose property it is, right, versus the individuals that are filing the complaint. So typically what you'll need to do, or at least a good act to do before your arraignment date, is to obtain a copy of the crime report that was filed. So this includes the name of the individual or individuals alleging a charge. So that's number one. And number two, the specifics of what they're alleging. So for this particular case, right, it was a misdemeanor for damaging grass netting, as the complaint of vandalism being levied. And it was specifically alleged by Church of Scientology, which is interesting because, again, as you'll see in some of these videos, the three elements I shared with you, malicious intent, property of another, damage, and destruction. So in all three of the police interactions, it was never clarified, nor I, as a random member of the public, could have ever known that said property was owned by anybody. There was no possible way to know that it was not abandoned for all intents and purposes. Despite several interactions with the police officers, I should say, three completely separate occasions, that was never clarified. And I'll explain each of these in detail with each of the clips. So I hope that made sense. So again, just to summarize, right, an arraignment is not where you make your case for or against. You simply show up, you enter a plea, and a trial date is set. And that's pretty much it. In the meantime, a good thing to do is to obtain a copy of the crime report levied against you for the charge, and just that simple. So reviewing the elements for what is required to have a charge of vandalism stick, there's malicious intent, which is an act maliciously done intentionally to injure another person or commit a wrongful act. There is property of another being damaged, destroyed, or defaced that belongs to somebody else, right? And number three, damage and destruction or defacement of said property being physically altered in a way that cannot make it come back to its original state, which you will see is not the case. So that's the summary. That's the 50,000 foot view. And I will show you my point for each of those. And I have taken clips here for a couple. There's about 16 clips. They're all very short though, so bear with me. And I'll play the video first. I'll let you guys hear it. And then I will give my comments on each clip. So we'll play the first one here. This is on June 16th. This is when I first arrived back to Los Angeles. And in here, I am explaining that I do have a bad back. You know, for what it's worth, I actually have a bad back. Can't expect people to walk over this stuff. You're gonna get hurt. I mean, look at that. You got literal spikes on the ground, man. That's dangerous. It's not even for me. That's just, you got spikes on the ground, bro. Like, look at that. So, a couple of things there. The spikes themselves, you can quite literally see. There are actual literal wooden spikes on the floor. Number two is the statement on having a bad back. That is actually something I do have a medical issue with. So I have worked for a number of years now with physical therapists to actually address an issue of ailments and disabilities I have physically with pertaining to my back. So this, to me, as somebody that has a physical disability, is difficult to navigate around. That's number one. Let's keep going to the second clip. And again, I'll let this clip play out. The one you're about to see is a clip of the a metal stapler pointing out of the wooden spike. That one's falling down. And holy shit, look at this. This one literally has, you see that? That's a fucking staple. That's a fucking staple. And these are the chunkier ones. That's a staple just pointing straight up. Look at that. You're gonna kill somebody with that. Yes, what's up, chat? I'll be here. So there again, you can very clearly see the danger posed to the public with the wooden spikes laid on the floor. If it wasn't bad enough already that a wooden spike was there, there was literally a thick metal staple pointing from the stake. The problem with that is these staples aren't just your regular staples used on pen for like office paper. These are quite thick, okay? They're actually almost the same thickness as well, actually usually they're about as thick as the ink the replacement ink cartridges that you would see on a pen. You can easily pull out a pen for yourself right now and see just how chunky that is, and imagine somebody, especially a child, myself, or an elderly person falling and scraping against this giant metal staple in addition to the wooden stake. That's horrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. So we'll keep going. Again, that video was the same night, June the 16th. And moving on to the next video. This one is a video showing myself removing the stakes from the ground and simply leaving them in place. Okay, so this particularly addresses the issue of damaging and defacing, which you can see for yourself. There we go. Got that fucking Balkan Zeus strength, bro. You don't. Something I wanted to point out in all the clips we've seen so far, these are all clips showing that there's no sort of signage posted on any notice of private property or any such permits allotted by the owner of an alleged private property to not touch, and that they're allowed to be there. And we're only 3 short clips in. You will also see that in the interactions with police officers, when I interacted with them and asked directly about any alleged permits, none were provided, and complete just basically yanking your chain was done. So let's go on to the next clip. So again, the one we just finished watching is simply a clip of me removing the stakes and leaving them on the ground. The next one we're about to watch is still on the same night of the June 16th. Okay, this is a clip of me again showing just a removal of stakes and no damage to the property, taken from my same live stream on the night of the 16th, which this complaint is alleging in regards to. Take a little break. What do you say, about halfway done?
Oh, that fucking yeah.
Okay. So again, even on this clip, you will see no signage posted anywhere of some alleged permit existing that is allowing the blocking of public property, which this in fact is. No signage clearly showing the public that this is private property that is sitting on top of public property. So for all intents and purposes, under the law, any member of the public can easily see that rationally and understandably would see this as abandoned property that is sitting atop of public property. Let's go on to the next clip. So we're just 4 clips in, and again, all of these clips clearly show no signage, no permit posting, and no damages. The next one we're going to see is our very first cop interaction with the LAPD. This is Galindo and Gomez, and I'll let it play out for itself. Again, it's on the same night of June 16th. So let's go ahead and show you guys this clip. Let's close all these other ones. What are you doing, man? Just keeping the neighborhood clean. Yeah, that's alright. I got spare clothes.
So what's going on? You over here for?
I don't know. You tell me.
Alright, so basically they put in permits as far as to work on the yard here.
Can I see them?
So now they're responsible for the maintenance on
Do you have it?
this here.
Do you have those permits?
They're working on getting it right now.
Oh, so you said they have it, but they don't have it.
Right, so they
Yeah, that doesn't work that way, though. You can't just do something without getting a permit first. And I know you know that. Yeah, applying but getting it is different.
No, they already have it.
Ah, but you didn't say that. So if they did, when I asked, you would have given it to me.
Right, so they're working on providing it right now.
But that's what you said earlier. You said they don't have it at all.
I said they have the permit.
So they do have the permit?
They have the permit.
Okay. So who's going to provide me a permit?
For maintenance of the yard.
Who's going to provide? What are you doing, man? Just keeping the neighborhood. Okay. So, pretty straightforward clip. I mean, we have Officer Galindo and Gomez. You will see the business cards pertaining their serial numbers as well as the call what the call was for in an upcoming clip. But again, very first police interaction, and the LAPD is alleging some sort of permit exists for this. Understandably, a member of the public would see as abandoned property on the public easement. Their LAPD is alleging that there is some sort of permit in existence, but they don't have the permit. They're then switching up and saying that the permit is actually non-existent, but they're applying for it. Or next, they say, well, they do have the permit. They haven't given it to us yet, and that's why I cannot provide it to you. And this is why I completely start to just be highly skeptical of the LAPD, because off the bat, right, just within literal seconds of showing up, they're caught in a lie. They try to double down, and it's just very clear that number one, there is no permit. Number two, there is no stake of ownership on public property, which is a issue of one that we've seen time and time again with the Church of Scientology, where they are feel entitled to own public property, which is something they do not own. We see this time and time again with the literal false street closure permits of LRH Way that are not even listed for LRH Way, but are actually listed for a parking lot on Sunset Boulevard, which is at the intersection of Catalina and Sunset, immediately across from Kaiser Permanente Hospital, which is simply not LRH Way. And so I asked repeatedly for an alleged permit. They are not providing a permit. I'm asking for clarification on whose property it is. They're not providing it. And then they say they have a permit, but they can't give it to me. I mean, if it's not posted and it's not publicly accessible, it doesn't exist, okay? I can't, this is just land of make-believe, right? In a later clip, you'll see I make the joke to Galindo that, yeah, I'm the gingerbread man. It's like, if that's what we're doing right now, we're playing complete make-believe fantasy, then sure. I'm the president of the United States. You just have to take my word for it, bro. It's fact. Just take my word for it. And it's just honestly highly unprofessional and just choppy. Very, very shameful. So that's this clip. And this is not the only police interaction. And by the way, okay, if there was any sort of wrongdoing at this time, especially as one of the consequences for vandalism is jail, then why is it that in all three occasions interfacing with LAPD that they did not make an arrest? Okay? They didn't. So let's move on to the next clip. Same night of the 16th, and this is another police interaction. Second one of the night. And I'll get to your chats just a bit. I just want to get through these clips first, just so everybody sees. Who's going to provide a permit then?
Scientology.
When?
They're working on that right now, too.
So give me like a ballpark. 5 minutes.
I couldn't tell you, they're working on it right now.
And since I'm not even from the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would anybody just looking at this ever know that there was ever a permit?
How would they know they have a permit?
Yeah. It's not posted nowhere. And I checked.
You knowing they have the permit? You should always ask them for it.
No, I'm a member of the public. So are you, right? How did you know before somebody told you just now?
So, exactly.
Yeah, nobody told me. So how could I possibly have known?
So what can I do? Sure.
What's your name? What is your name?
Give me my first name.
Yeah, first name was.
Yeah, good citizen.
Yeah, we come here because we're concerned about, you taking the stakes out and moving the yard.
Who's going to provide a permit? So interestingly enough here, on this clip, the funniest part is Galindo, my personal favorite. I absolutely enjoy the interactions I have with Officer Galindo, okay? In here, they are, first of all, asking for a name, which, unless you've committed a crime, you do not have to give. And again, if a crime was committed, I would have been detained. And at such point, when they articulate the RAS for a act of vandalism, I would have then had to provide identification. But since no such law violation occurred, I did not have to provide a name, hence why I did not. And ergo, that is why there's many other reasons why I enjoy interacting with Galindo, but here again, right, this same interaction with Gomez and Galindo, I repeatedly ask, let me see a permit. They're continuing to allege that a permit exists. They are refusing to provide a permit. And they are now, you can even catch Galindo here stating they're working on a permit. So it can't be both, right? You can't state you have a permit in existence versus you are applying for a permit. Those are very different, okay? Very, very different. So clearly there is no such permit in existence because they are switching their story up. They're clearly being told by somebody to basically play make-believe, right? I'm the gingerbread man, Galindo is the president of the United States, and you just have to take our word for it. So let's keep going down this interaction with LAPD. And this is yet another interaction I have with Galindo, which I call Galando. And I'm sure he absolutely enjoys my stating of his name as Galando, but that's neither here or there.
A little bit of discover whatever they got going on here. I guess they're gonna repeat the grass. According to them, they have a permit. They have a copy of it. I didn't bring the copy with me.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
So let's say if they actually do present a copy for me, and they actually give it to you, at that point, you actually vandalize the city property. Okay. So just letting you know, I just came here to warn you.
Wait, vandalizing city property for their permit?
Right. They got whatever they got
But
permits
it's not
somehow.
city
It's
property
actually city
being
property. It's actually
vandalized.
city.
Yeah, it's easement.
Oh, so they...
So I just wanted to stop here for a second. A couple of things. Again, the clear cut of a lie. Galindo is stating the property in question, being the netting, is city property. If that's the case, then why is a allegation of vandalism coming from the Church of Scientology? Why is it not the city of LA? That is interesting to me, and I hope that is also interesting to you. Again, alleging that there is a permit in existence, but not showing a permit, despite repeatedly asking, not just Galindo, but his officer as well, his fellow colleague, Gomez. Neither are showing this alleged permit in existence. Let's keep watching.
Their permit is taking over...
The city does maintenance.
No, their permits, all of them, 3 for different things, and some are overlapping.
So just letting you know, I'm here to warn you. I'm here to warn you.
They just want us to warn you.
Okay.
No, I appreciate. And that language is very specific. I'm just here to warn you. 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 Of what? To not eat dairy without taking a lactose enzyme tablet? You know, is that what he wants to warn me? To not eat too much chocolate because it'll make you have the runs? You know, I mean, what are we doing at this point? Like, this is just child's play. Warn you of what? Warn me that you shouldn't put your socks on backwards? To warn me that I have a left foot and a right foot? And to make sure that if there's socks designated for your left and right foot, to place them in the appropriate left and right feet? I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, this is just absolutely ridiculous and an absolute disgrace. We're here to educate.
Should be
And
informed that the sidewalk is on the permit and they're free and they overlap.
This is my first time here, so I don't know what kind of permits they have. I'm just warning
Welcome
you.
to the shit show, my friend.
I'm
You
just
should go look at those permits.
I'm just warning you. A little bit of discover whatever they got going on here.
so, just another shining example of why I enjoy interfacing with Officer Galindo. He is a interesting officer, and leave it at that. On to the next one, which is a question I posed to Galindo on the false permitting of closing the street known as LRH Way, and explicitly making it, educating the LAPD that there are false permits in existence of alleging a closure of 4810 Sunset Boulevard, but yet Scientology closes LRH Way, and you could clearly see on the entire history of the Streets LA operated by the Bureau of Street Services that 4810 Sunset Boulevard is simply not LRH Way. So let's see his reaction on when I bring this up.
What is that
So
for?
the closure she's mentioning is actually for the Sunset, which is not
that's
LRH.
true.
That's 4810. That's for a closure just on their own parking lot for no through traffic, but they have the street closed off utilizing that same permit under a false pretense to close the street, which you can check right now. You don't have to take my own word on the special events on the Streets LA. It shows very clearly 4810 Sunset, right? That's LRH, L. Ron Hubbard. Sunset and L. Ron are not the same, but they are, and have been for some time, completely closing that off, even though they cannot do so.
That's true. It was sunset.
It is very clearly
15th
spelled.
Overnight, the
Yes.
15th
We
overnight
can verify that
sunset.
for you guys, okay?
We have all the paperwork.
Again, the claim by LAPD that they're going to verify, that they're going to look in, that they're going to verify, that they're going to look into it, that they're going to conduct due diligence, that they're going to do their job, that they're going to follow through, is just repeatedly proven false. How many times is somebody like Scientology going to be allowed to simply break the law without suffering consequences, just as anybody else would when the law is violated? This is one of countless other clips of members of the public clearly informing various LAPD officers that a permit under false pretenses is being used to close all of LRH Way, and those permits do not grant them the authority to do so. And specifically, the closure on the permit is in regard to through traffic on their parking lot on 4810 Sunset. It's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. And this video, again, just shows as one of bajillions of other clips of all other folks who are not related to each other on with completely different situations, all having the same problem, and LAPD actively choosing to ignore it. We'll finish this clip off. There's not much else, but just for the sake of due diligence, I'll show you the rest of this clip.
But no printer, so it's all in the computer. But yeah.
All right, guys.
Cool.
That's all it is.
Are you coming back to let us know if you saw it?
Well, there's a permit, but it doesn't really specify exactly what's covered in it. So once they get one that's actually specified, next time
What is that?
So again, at the end of that clip, Galindo, Officer Galindo, is stating that there is a permit now, again, constantly switching their story up, and that he's going to get a copy of it for us and ever so graciously give us said copy. In this next clip we're about to watch, it is the same night of the 16th, just shortly after this interaction with the same officers. This is about a couple minutes later, where I ask them for their business cards, where they are writing their serial numbers as well as the reason for their call. So let us watch that next.
So once they get one that's actually specified, next time I come in, I can bring a copy. Okay?
And if you guys just have a business card, that would be great.
Hopefully it's next week or
What
whenever.
about the planter? What about the planter?
I don't know.
Same thing? That's why I was joking saying welcome to shit show.
I don't know what's up with the planet, to be honest.
And if I could get your business card too, that'd be great.
It's the same business card for them.
Yeah, if you just want to write down what the call was for, that they brought you in for. Yeah,
Oh yeah, why did they call? I wasn't here for that.
we'll get that.
Destruction of something.
Destruction of, whatever this
Yeah.
is,
Actually, I have camera footage of a guy. It was in behind, about getting out of the car here, and he almost stuck his shit on the concrete, pardon my language.
And if you could write your serials on there too for each year, that'd be great.
With the registration number and phone number and everything.
Also, yeah, like, what are we supposed to do? People supposed to get out and then walk all the way around? Cause they...
Yeah, so they see the grass.
So, again, you can hear repeatedly Officer Galindo make the statement that they are going to obtain a copy of this magical permit and show it to us. And as you'll see in the upcoming clips, that does not bear fruition. So let's go ahead and move on to the next clip with the two officers. Again, same night of the 16th of June. Galindo and Gomez now providing their business card, which states their name, serial number, as well as the reason for the call.
Here we are. That's for the incident. My partner and my serial right here. Number to the truck.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
Have a good night, guys.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
No, what's the other call? Come on, I can listen to it on broadcast.
I'll come back and it's about you guys.
Hold on, shit. I'm trying to get it for you. I am just pausing here for a moment so that you guys can see the front of the business card. And on the front of the business card, you can clearly see there's Officer Galindo, the taller gentleman. Serial number 41803. And the second officer, Officer Garcia M, with serial number 45732. And I will now let the rest of the video play, where you can see the call details written on the back. Let's keep watching. There you go.
I don't know. No, I'm serious.
And I'll show you the back. So on the back here, we can clearly see the date and the time, 51 hours. The call that was made was alleging that a subject is destroying planters. Now, I know I'm not all that well versed in landscaping. It is not my particular area of expertise. However, planters were nowhere to be seen in this entire interaction. So clearly that is just outright false. Number two, it states a copy of a permit would be provided when made available. This is the best part. No such permit was provided, despite the two officers themselves repeatedly stating that they would, and even writing that they would provide a permit, an alleged permit that allegedly exists. So there you go. No such permit was provided, and I'll let the rest of the clip play out, but I just wanted you guys to see that for yourselves, and I actually still have this card in my possession. Let's keep going. Clip that. And then again. So we got a Garcia and Galindo 41803 and 45732. So there you go. In the words and handwriting of the LAPD, they would provide a permit, alleging repeatedly that a permit exists, yet never doing so. This is police interaction number 1. 2 officers being Garcia and Galindo. We will now move on to the next clip, which is the second police interaction. And interestingly enough, it's with our 2 favorite officers that we just witnessed. So still the same night, just shortly thereafter. Let's go ahead and watch that clip, and you tell me what this type of behavior is. The repeated patrolling, the repeated doubling down of lies, and failure to live up to claims of providing a permit, that a permit exists. And again, in all these clips, you will notice there is no permit signage posted. And let's move on to the next. YouTube?
Yeah, what is it?
You can find me on the SPTV website. Yeah.
Good job, man.
Sounds good, bro.
One more thing. I guess I do have a permit. I actually saw it myself. They don't want to give me a copy for some reason. I tried to get one for you guys. They said no for whatever reason. So just warning you, I don't want to come back and they're pushing like a prior person's arrest for some BS, right? Just give me a heads up, man. Okay?
So if you have it, then
I don't have it. They want to give me a copy. For some reason, I don't know why.
yeah, that's
really
really
a copy.
that's very bizarre.
That feels.
I try to get a copy for you guys.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, man. It's very bizarre.
For some reason, they didn't want to give me one, but I actually saw it myself. It specifies Parkway, Carolina, between Sunset and Fountain. So heads up. Like if I come back and I have to call my detective and get everybody involved, and I have to arrest somebody for some BS, right? I would hate to do that. This is BS, right?
Yeah, well, you also know, right, that you have a choice. YouTube?
Yeah.
So these are very clear threats made by Officer Galindo that he is going to come back and conduct some arrests. Again, the topic of a permit is breached, and now the new lie being spun is such that Galindo himself saw the permit, but somehow magically was not actually provided a copy, and somehow magically therego could not provide a member of the public a copy of this ethereal permit, and is threatening arrests if we do not leave. Let's keep watching the next clip. It's the same interaction, and this is the point of clarification with Officer Galindo on the very particular words he said around a PPA, where he lies and misunderstands by stating whenever anybody requests a PPA, the LAPD must execute an arrest. And in fact, this same clip was shared by SPTV fans, showing the absolute clownery that is LAPD, being very proudly demonstrated by Officer Galindo. And Galindo, when I'm back, buddy, you best believe I'm filing a complaint on your ass. Okay? You best believe. So, let us now move on to the interaction I just stated. Same night, June the 16th, same interaction. This is interaction number 2 with the LAPD. It just so happens to be the same 2 officers. Let us watch this clip. And this is regarding the blatant misunderstanding of Galindo on a PPA. Oh, right, that you have a choice of the PPA just because somebody wants it.
PPA, if it's like the way it works, somebody wants one, they have video and everything, evidence. We're mandated to actually follow up with it.
Yeah, it's at your it's at your discretion.
Due diligence.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So I just want to hear you say it. Hold on.
This job for 10 years.
I just want to hear you say it on camera.
Before you started
Yeah,
your job.
I just want to hear you say it on camera. You're saying right now, if anybody requests a PPA, you absolutely have to follow through and execute the arrest of the PPA. That's what you're saying right now, yes? Thank you. You're a clown. You're a clown.
Right there, man.
You're a clown. I'm done with it. You're a clown.
I told you he was a
Oh, right. So there you have it. Major shout out to SPTV fans for also sharing this same clip. LAPD literally states here that whenever somebody requests a PPA, the LAPD has no choice but to make an arrest. They have to arrest you guys. If you're feeling like your ice cream was flavored a little too much on the vanilla and chocolate mixture, and you complain to the LAPD that you want a PPA on the ice cream store owner, they have to arrest the ice cream store owner. They must, because this is what the LAPD states on the PPA. This is absolute clownery. If you do not like how the sun is hitting a particular spot on your umbrella, and you're at the beach and you rented a umbrella from a nearby hotel, well, the sun is really pissing you off, and damn that hotel owner for not giving you an adequate umbrella to properly block the sun. You want a PPA on them. LAPD, ring ring, I want to execute a PPA arrest on the hotel manager. Go ahead and arrest them right now because I said so. It's a PPA, officer. You have to take the PPA. You have to arrest people. Officer, you know, I'm really not liking this movie. Just wasn't satisfied. You know, officer, I want a PPA because I am a disgruntled customer of this movie. Did not like it. I want you to arrest the producer of the movie. You have to execute it, officer. I requested a PPA, and you have to. You have no choice. I mean, come on, like, this is just foolishness. So let's move on to our next clip. This is the same night again, June 16th. On this upcoming clip, it is showing myself simply moving and shifting the nets into a pile, and the nets are still intact. There is no damage enacted onto this property whatsoever. It is simply being shifted from one location to another, similar to the SpongeBob episode where they are moving Bikini Bottom from one end to another. That's it. So we'll go ahead and show you that coming up next year. And again, this upcoming clip is simply addressing one of the elements of the vandalism charge to actually stick, which is the property being damaged. Here we go. Look at that, ground is still wet from all the fucking overwatering, despite all this California heat. Disgusting, man. All right, you know, the other way. Like butter. So there you have it, the simple shifting of the net from one spot to another. No destruction, just relocating. And again, still in all of these clips, there is no public signage posted of a permit. There is no signage posted that this is private property, and anybody would reasonably assume that it's abandoned property because it is on public easement. That's speaking to the ownership aspect of the one of the three elements for vandalism charge. Let's go ahead and now move on to the same day of June 16th. This is just later on in the afternoon of June 16th. The clips we were watching previously were in the middle of the night on June 16th. So as you can see on the business card, 51 hours. So this is later in the afternoon. So this upcoming clip is simply another example showing that the netting is, for all intents and purposes, abandoned property that happens to be on public easement. So we'll watch that. And again, you will notice that there is no signage of a permit posted anywhere. And it is still, in fact, on the public easement. Close friends that served in the military, they fought for my right, and many of them died. In my eyes, this is the least I could do to honor them. They fought for my right to have access to public property. It's just not theirs. So I've got that personal stake in it. They made the ultimate sacrifice so I could be here. They made the ultimate sacrifice. And we get to enjoy the fruits of that labor. Close friends at a certain. So another shining example of simply shifting the netting over, and as you can also hear, Laura's beautiful beautiful voice in the background. She's so perfectly loud, and I aspire to have that strong of a voice. So kudos to Laura. Thank you for being there, and I appreciate the support. The next clip is still on the same day of the incident being alleged on the charge on this complaint here. This is still June 16th. It's actually just a couple minutes after this clip I just showed you, and it's from a different perspective. You will see now a clip from Laura's live stream showing that I am in fact not maliciously behaving maliciously, nor am I enacting any sort of damage onto property. I am simply moving reasonably understood abandoned property from one spot to another for the safety of everybody else that is a member of the public. Let's go ahead and watch that from Laura's perspective.
Whoa. I heard a dog. Henry, I feel bad. I feel like I need to help you. Guys, I feel like I need to help him. I feel like he's doing all the work or something. Here, I brought a steak over. Oh, look at this. Bye-bye. They can't deliver their freaking things. Oh, yeah, so maybe they can recycle it. Okay, Jen, I'm going to walk up to the parking lot. I'll be right back. I'll be back. They're sitting in the shade, guys. They're slacking off. They're not real protesters. Just kidding. At least I can joke a little bit about all this. Whoa.
So thank you, Laura, for that clip. Clearly see that there's no malicious intent to cause harm to anybody whatsoever. You can clearly see that this property is not being destroyed, just simply relocated from one spot to another. And that's from a different perspective. That was from Laura's own live stream. And somebody asked if I can attend via Zoom. That is not even something I am going to entertain, because hell no. If anything, at the end of all this, right, this is costing me money because I have to pay to get out there. And I was already going to be out there, but this is making me come out there in a different time than I had originally planned. But nonetheless, I will be there. And let's go on to the next clip with Scientology resulting in police interaction number 3, which is 2 different officers that approached me and asked me to sign a completely voluntary notice of trespassing, which is strange because I never actually stepped foot, and nor will I ever care to step foot on any Scientology-owned property. For those that don't know how trespassing works, you actually have to be on said property to be trespassed from it. Cannot simply just preemptively trespass somebody. There is literally no evidence of me ever stepping foot onto Scientology's property, and I've stated many times on camera, like I will do right now, I literally have no intention of ever doing so. But let's watch the clip anyway. So this is same day, the 16th of June, shortly after this clip that we just watched.
Thank
you. All right, so basically, I'll
Plus
break it
my
down
people.
for you. Number one officer came serving me a letter that was voluntary, but made it seem like it wasn't, to be a notice of trespass from the property.
The officer gave
Yes,
it to you, or is trying to?
Yes, and asked if I would sign it, and then I looked at him, and I said, how about you sign a trespass letter for that building over there? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, that's exactly how stupid this is. I'm not signing anything.
Yeah.
Number two, he was talking about how it might hurt somebody's feelings to move some mesh around and put it in a pile. And I told him, well, you're not feelings enforcement.
You're like, yeah, it hurt mine.
So
That's my job, buddy.
now they're just going back and forth, jacking each other off on
So you didn't get the paper or anything?
Scientology's ego.
Yeah. Wow. Let's go up and talk to them, Kelly.
What was the paper?
It was a formal notice of trespass, which is exactly how it works. So, this is shortly after police interaction numero trace. All within 1 day, guys. 1 day, three different interactions with LAPD. I think that's almost a record. Unfortunately, DOA has the record on that. I hope to never beat it. Hats off to you, DOA, for winning the total number of police interactions in a day. It's not a record I wish to break anytime soon, but there you go. From the next clip that we will watch, it's actually the interaction I am explaining in this clip to Laura from Laura's perspective. This next clip I'm going to show is actually from Aja's perspective, and this is Aja recording the interaction I had with the LAPD regarding them approaching me to sign a piece of paper that is formally trespassing me from Scientology's property, which again was in their own words of LAPD clarified as completely optional and voluntary. And of course I did not sign it, but let's go ahead and watch that clip from Aja's perspective. Same day of June the 16th. Let us watch.
This mesh here from the grass. You gotta stop doing that.
Why is that?
Is there a reason why you're pulling out the mesh from the grass?
Is there a reason you asked the question that way?
Huh?
Is there a reason you asked the question in that particular fashion? Well, you're implying something. I want to know what it is.
What you do?
Yeah, but so what?
Yeah, so you're damaging the city's property. That's it.
That's city property?
Yeah, it's the city's property.
Which part?
The mesh. And
The mesh?
stakes. Yeah. that's
How's that?
It's the city's property that they pay for.
Yeah. I just wanted to stop there. This is a completely different officer from Galindo and Garcia, literally stating yet again that the netting, which this entire complaint is regarding, the netting is now city property. So this is interesting because yet again we have the same runaround being issued by a completely different set of LAPD officers, and it's just more foolishness, right? The netting is city property. The netting is Scientology property. There is a permit. There is no permit. It's abandoned property. That's the fact and reality of the situation. And it is baffling at the lengths that LAPD is willing to go to trip on their own words and just outright lie and not follow through, not just with verbal interaction, but a written statement that a permit will be provided, yet no permit was ever provided, not by Galindo or Garcia in the 2 times I interacted with them, and not by these 2 officers, all within the same day. No permit provided. Absolute nonsense. Let's keep watching the rest of this clip.
How?
Is there a permit for that?
There is.
Let me see it.
I don't have it.
Oh, well then it doesn't exist.
Okay, well, but like I said, they're gonna do the steps required to take it. I'm just letting you know. Okay, we're not doing anything about it now, but I'm just warning you because they might take further action, and I don't want anything happening. You know?
Officer,
Yes, ma'am.
so just to let you know, the city did not put the mesh.
There you have it. That's the full clip, and thank you very much for Aja on being there to record this clip. I also had my body camera on at this period, but the view that Aja takes is much clearer, so I decided to use this clip instead. And again, We can clearly see here 2 different LAPD officers stating the netting is actually city property, stating that there's a permit and not providing a permit. And again, I'm the gingerbread man and I'm the president of the United States. How? Take my word for it. It's because you have to take my word for it. I say so, and therefore it is. So yet another example of just the absolute clown show. Let's move on to another clip. This is this same interaction with LAPD. This one is the lovely Aja yet again educating LAPD that the city did not place the netting in question. So let us watch that. And again, this is the same day. This is still the 16th of June. That same interaction. And it is Aja educating the two new LAPD officers that the city did not place this netting.
The city did not put the mesh there. It was.
They didn't.
So you just.
They
Can I finish before you interrupt me, please? I'm so sorry. Barajas. Scientologists were the one that were putting that the work right there. So how is that? Wait, can I finish, please, officer? You seem like you're in a rush. You're being disrespectful. You don't let us speak. You already come here with an agenda, and I'm sorry, officer, but I'm very respectful to all the officers until they start exhibiting that type of behavior you're giving me.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna again give you the respect you deserve as a law enforcement officer. Please don't make me change that.
Okay,
All right, thank you. So we saw Scientology members, the one working for that. So you're telling me that the city pays Scientology, so Scientology can do the work for the city? Doesn't the city have actually city workers to do that? Why do they have to pay Scientology people to? The city did not put that.
So there you go. Shout out again to the lovely Aja for clearly educating these 2 new LAPD officers on the fact that they are lying and alleging there's a permit and alleging that the city is paying Scientology to put some property on the public easement. And it's very clear that the officer has no interest in providing any sort of evidence for the claims that they are making, and very clear that LAPD continues to threaten and intimidate. We're just giving you a warning, can be repeatedly heard in the previous clip, and it's very clear from the situation that it is a intimidation, it is a threat of arrest. And if there was actually a violation conducted, then I would have been arrested, but I was not. And 3 separate interactions, mind you, with 4 different LAPD officers, and none of them executed a arrest, period. None of them. Why? Because they know there is no legitimacy to the charges being alleged. Full stop. Let's go on to the next clip, also by the lovely Aja. And in this case, it is Aja confronting LAPD on the production of a alleged permit and LAPD failing to do so. Let us watch that. And again, major shout out to Aja for this wonderful clip.
City property.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, they do have a permit saying that they're allowed to work on it. Now, they bought the mesh. They're installing the mesh.
Okay. Oh, wait. So they bought the mesh?
They're actually
Do they have permits that says that they we need to see this is where the disconnection, this is where we disconnect. I think by law they should, and that will give us an understanding as to what they're doing, and for us that will give us an understanding for us what not to do, you know what I mean? Because if we blindly walk on us, okay, if we blindly, I'm going to give you an example. If we blindly, not knowing what restrict or not, walk in an area area, and then they tell us that, oh, it's restricted, but there nowhere, there never says, it's not posted anywhere that says it's restricted. How are we supposed to know? And then when we do ask to show us if it's restricted or not, they say no. They say no, we don't have to. So how is
City property.
yeah?
The weird thing is,
So there you have it. Two completely different LAPD officers literally saying the same lies repeatedly and being confronted by another member of the public, the wonderful, as always, Aja. And it's clear that the LAPD and Scientology are in just a wonderful, wonderful web of cahoots with each other. And it doesn't seem like it's ever going to stop until situations like this case are brought up where Scientology is hit with a slap in the face for a lawsuit and a loss. So yet again, lies being told by the LAPD that it's city property, that there's a permit. No such evidence is provided for. Just take my word for it, bro. Yeah. And this next clip is probably one of my favorites. Again, shout out to Aja. It's also on the same date, June 16th, this same police interaction. This is a wonderful clip of LAPD clearly showing and saying that somebody's feelings were hurt and that they are feelings enforcement and not law enforcement. Let's go ahead and take a look at that clip.
Yeah.
it's kind of a crappy feeling if someone puts mesh somewhere and then someone just comes and takes it out. Now after someone's worked on it. I'm asking her, sir. Thank you.
I listen. I go by with the law. I'm not a police officer, but I go with the law.
It's not a question of law. It's just as a decent human being. Can we agree that it's kind of a bad feeling, like a bad thing to kind of go to someone's work and just take out the mesh? Just something to agree on. That's it.
No comment.
No comment?
No comment.
I think it's kind of a...
We'll watch this again because this is honest. This is a gold mine. This clip is a gold mine, literally stating they are feelings enforcement. So
I think it's kind of a crappy feeling if someone puts mesh somewhere and then someone just comes and takes it out. Now after someone's worked on it. I'm asking her, sir. Thank you.
I listen. I go by with the law. I'm not a police officer, but I go with the law.
It's not a question of law. It's just as a decent human being. Can we agree that it's kind of a bad feeling, like a bad thing to kind of go to someone's work and just take out the mesh? Just something to agree on. That's it.
No comment.
No comment?
No comment.
there you go. Literally stating they are feelings enforcement. And this one, I'm just gonna hide user. Just absolute stupidity. Go ahead and remove that from the channel. Let's go ahead and another person trying to sow stupidity. We will just hide that person. There you go. And yeah, beautiful clip from Aja's stream on the same day, June 16th, capturing LAPD officer stating they are feelings enforcement and not law enforcement. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, you literally can't make this stuff up. This next clip is also by Aja, same day. This is the same LAPD officers yet again, these two same LAPD officers yet again stating they will get a copy of this alleged permit and publicly post it. But as we have seen, they never do. So let us go on to this next clip.
All right.
So what we're gonna do back right now is we're gonna head back. We're gonna see if we can get them to post a permit that they can and cannot do.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Sorry.
And if you want,
Okay.
that's as best as I can do.
Thank you, Tejada. Thank you, Barajas. Aja.
Asha?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You have a good day, okay?
Again, really.
Please stay hydrated. It's hot. Stay.
So there you go. They say they will provide a permit copy. They do not. They say they will post it publicly. They do not.
All right.
So what we're gonna do back right now is we're gonna head back. We're gonna see if we can get them to post the permits of what they can and cannot do.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Sorry.
And if you want,
Okay.
that's as best as I can do.
Thank you, Tejada. Thank you, Barajas. Aja.
Asha?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You have a good day, okay?
Again, really.
Please stay hydrated. It's hot. All right.
Just wanted to watch. Have you guys watch that again? Absolute clown show by LAPD. So yeah. The next clip we watch is actually a clip taken from my stream on the 19th of June. And this particular next clip is addressing the element of destruction and damage to property for the vandalism charge, which you can see here, some random person that for anybody would understandably see as a complete stranger is clearly shown neatly packing up the netting, which is being alleged by Scientology to be damaged, which it clearly is not, as they are wrapping it up ever so neatly, and it is completely intact. So let us watch that clip, particularly addressing the issue of there's damage conducted when you can see here this stranger, in fact, shows there is no damage and neatly tucks away the property in question, and it's completely fine. This is at least a couple hours that he's been out here rolling up each and every one of these up and then lay them all out flat, and then make sure that they're not tangled, remove all the stakes. So yep, stakes go bye-bye, so does netting. Stake, go away, never come back another day. So there you go. You can see there's another clip I have of a stranger completely wrapping up the property that was not damaged, not defaced, just simply moved from one position to another, and it's being neatly tucked away by a rando on the street, which any person of sound mind would understandably say that it's abandoned property on the public easement. So this gentleman went at it and started rolling it up for themselves. Let us now watch yet another example. This final clip I have on the 19th of June, same day, just a little while later, and this same day here, of this random person now neatly placing the completely intact and undamaged property onto a cart they have. Go ahead and watch that. We're able to just wrap it all up and go. You know, I had a beautiful pile for them all situated, just ready for rolling as he's doing. Honestly, I should be paid for this. I feel like I'm entitled to submit an invoice for all the hard work I've done. You know, we keep this area safe for you guys because we literally monitor it for you 24/7. People know us. We're out here doing construction and landscaping for you. I want my $47 a week, man. $47 a week. I want it. You were able to just. So yeah, that's the last clip I have. And again, just want to go back and explain the 3 points of a charge of vandalism to be upheld. Number 1, it requires malicious intent, where somebody is behaving intentionally to injure and or commit a wrongful act. You can very clearly see that is not the case. I've been very cordial, level-headed, professional, and absolutely kind to everybody that I have interacted with, both LAPD officers as well as members of the public. Property of another, it's clear that no such signage was posted anywhere that this property belonged to anybody. It was simply laying on the public easement for some time, and then a random guy with a cart happened to pop up and take it away. Any rational person would understandably come to a conclusion that this is simply abandoned property on the public easement. And damage, there must be physical damage to the property, which you can clearly see there is none. The property in question was being rolled up and was able to go back in its original state as a roll of plastic netting. You can literally see 2 separate instances of a stranger doing just that and placing it into a cart. So there is no damage. Ergo, this alleged charge of vandalism, it meets none of these 3 elements. That's pretty much all I had to share and cover with you guys. So yeah. Any questions? Let's see if anybody's got any questions before I wrap it up there. And again, major shout out to Laura and Aja. Many thanks for being there that day, and your live stream footage has been very helpful for people that are wanting to show support. So I have already made travel arrangements to show up. The actual arraignment date is the 15th of August, 8:30 a.m. at the 210 West Temple Street Court, and it's in Department 40 of the Superior Court of California. So yeah, that is it. Just to summarize again, so an arraignment is you show up, you make an appearance at the specified date and time. Likely I'll be there for an entire day, even though the time states for 8:30. Arraignment is very short. You enter a plea, and the judge will set a date for future court proceedings, like pretrial hearings or the trial itself. There's a key difference between a charge versus a complaint. Complaint is simply the initial document filed by a prosecutor alleging that you committed a crime. The charges are the specific allegations. In this case particularly, the allegation is damaging grass netting, the plastic green netting. So that is the particular allegation for this case. And for a arraignment preparation, it's really just show up on time, dress nicely, and get a copy of the crime report that was filed before you show up, so that you have that information. And I will be posting that as well. But I do know, and I was able to verify with the court that yes, it was in fact the Church of Scientology that levied the complaint, and this is with the City of LA, Heidi Feldstein Soto as the attorney, supervising Stacy attorney, excuse me, the supervising attorney. So there you go. Any questions that people might have? Let's see. Somebody had asked for support, so you're more than welcome if you want to cover travel costs. I welcome you to go to any of the links I have on my link tree. You can find those on my profile. If you just click on my channel, you will get all of the links. And for those that want to show up, you are more than welcome to. Highly encourage it. If you haven't shared it with other streamers, please let them know of the upcoming arraignment, and of course the next date being the travel or the pre-trial date will be set after the arraignment. So yeah, I will be there before, I'll be in LA before the 15th, so I will live stream in the time before the arraignment as well as after the arraignment, and I will happily explain anything and everything in regards to the case and go from there. And so in the meantime, I was actually been planning to do some street interviews, so keep an eye out. I will be doing some street interviews on Scientology, on things related to Scientology, and some other stuff that I had related to the tech world. And I think you guys will like it. I don't think there's been anybody else that has done street interviews asking people about, right to repair and what they understand on it. So it's something I'm particularly passionate about, and yeah, keep an eye out. Thank you all for being here today. Feel free to share this video with whoever you wish to, and I look forward to seeing you guys all back again in LA. And that's it. Bye bye.